The blessing ceremony is Tibetan culture. If you don't want, you don't have to, okay? New culture, bring new culture is difficult in your life. So if you don't want, don't have to. It's Tibetan culture. In Tibet, what do you say, Tibetan torture? Yes, that's true. But no talk that. That's a part of sort of political. Political and Dharma is totally different. You know, I don't like political. Yeah, Tibetan culture. So Guru Yoga practice really amazing. If you are Buddhist, and if you are not Buddhist, you also can practice Guru Yoga, right? With your spiritual being or teacher with that, right? It's not, you are not visualizing Buddha, Padmasambhava, all this, but you can visualize something else. So I think you can practice Guru Yoga, but usually practice Guru Yoga is Tibetan Buddhism. And it's actually about Dzogchen. Two ways we can practice Guru Yoga. One is the preliminary way. One is the Dzogchen meditation way. So when we meditate on Dzogchen, we really meditate on Dzogchen. We do not use any particular method. We just allow our mind to rest and find it. But when we practice Guru Yoga, we're not practicing Dzogchen, but we are trying to practice Dzogchen, right? That way we need some methods, right? When you are meditating on Dzogchen, then no need method, right? Just, there is no teaching to practice other than mind practice. And there is no goal to be achieved outside the mind. The mind, when we say, in this case, when we say the mind has two qualities, right? Clarity and awareness. That's the qualities. Clarity, when we say clarity, it is kind of formless, but allows objects to arise in it. And then awareness, it can engage with objects. So, also you can say the mind has two aspects, kind of stillness and movement, right? Sometimes the mind is kind of free, firm thoughts. This is what we call stillness, right? Very stable, relaxed, nothing, sort of motionless, right? And then eventually thoughts are arise in it. This is the movement, right? In this case, where mind is not stable, right? And most of the time, we are not aware of our state of mind and pay no sort of attention to whether the mind is relaxed, still, or moving. So when you examine the still mind, and the moving mind, you will find nothing but emptiness, clarity, and awareness. That's the result. When you search your mind, when you investigate your mind, you will find emptiness, clarity, and awareness. Mind has no form, no color, no substance, So this is the sort of emptiness aspect of the mind, right? Yet the mind can also understand and knows things and perceive in sort of infinite sort of variety of phenomena. So this is the clarity aspect of the mind. So mind, emptiness, clarity. Stillness in movement. The inseparability of these two aspects, emptiness and clarity, is the primordial continuous mind. At the moment, the natural sort of clarity of your mind is obscured by sort of delusions, right? But as this obscuration sort of clears, and then you will begin to sort of uncover the radiance of awareness. Your thoughts are sort of, liberated the moment they arise. If you are aware of the thoughts and just let it dissolve by itself, then that is the end of it. Takes to you emptiness and clarity. But if you sort of remain unaware of what is happening and let the thoughts grow and develop, it will lead on to a sort of second thoughts, right? And continually like that, in no time at all, you will find yourself or the emptiness and clarity. So we sort of welcome the thoughts one after another, one after another. There is no time to find out the clarity and emptiness, which is the characteristic of the nature mind. When the nature mind is recognized, what it is we call the nirvana, right? Liberation or Buddha. When it's obscured by delusion, it is we call samsara. So actually, what we need to learn at the beginning of our spiritual practice is how to let go of distracting thoughts and cultivate the correct view for the beginner. Because the purpose of meditation actually is not sort of not to get a good feeling, good feels, The purpose is to understand our Buddha sort of potential and to actualize it for the benefit of all beings. That's the essence. And there is a traditional saying from the great masters. They said, the realization is reached through the path of blessings. Now we're talking about practice of Guru Yoga, right? We talk about lots of blessings. That means, the realization is, comes from, And And the blessings are reached through the path of devotion. Devotion is reached through the sort of path of supplications, which means like understand, for instance, Padmasambhava, his kindness, understand about what he did, understand about his capacities, then easy to develop devotion, easy to believe him, easy to trust him, right? So supplications tells us what, who he is, right? I mean, this 7-line supplication is very brief, very short. But if you read the 7-line prayers sort of commentary, and then you will understand more detail about Padmasambhava, for instance. Then easy to develop devotion. So that's why your devotion is reached through the path of the supplication. Especially, I think the 7-line supplication is so power and kind of profound. Because you cannot, with the state of realization, without any methods or preparation, To realize the nature of mind, you need to connect with it through sort of blessings. And blessings depends upon your own devotion, on your sort of openness or trust. So you can cultivate these qualities through the Guru Yoga practice or supplication. That's how you cultivate devotion. Do you understand? For instance, if you want to help, first you need to investigate me. Do I have that capacity that you're looking for help? You have to investigate. If you find that if I have a capacity to help, then you can trust, right? Oh, I believe this person, that he can help me. Then you ask me to help, right? Based on your belief. That's what we're talking about. That's the devotion. So first you have to, in order to develop your devotion, you have to understand Padmasambhava, for instance. If you practice Padmasambhava through if you want to develop your devotion and practice Guru Yoga, relatively you have to understand Padmasambhava. Understand? And then you sort of easily develop your devotion, and then you will get blessings. Blessings means what? Means realization, your realization. Let's say if you practice about 7 supplication, and sometimes you just, within 1 second you get it, you understand the nature mind. That's what we call blessings. If you have a great foundation, understand nature mind is so easy and doesn't take long time. One time, Pater Rinpoche Tibet, and one of his students asked him to teach about Pranjana Paramita, which is the Buddhist one of the major philosophy, and actually talks about the view, the Dzogchen view, the emptiness, right, view. Bhakti Rinpoche has 3 commentaries on the Pranjana Paramita. That's why the student asked, and then Bhakti Rinpoche told him, they talked about bodhicitta and compassion, and the student really understand compassion, but not, it's just intellectually, Bhakti Rinpoche understood that, okay, you are not ready to listen about Pranjana Paramita, which is the view, the Dzogchen view. He just directly told him, you are not ready to listen this. First, you have to practice your compassion. And 3 years, go to retreat if you really want to follow my instruction and want to practice. 3 years retreat, no meditate at all other things, just only bodhicitta, compassion. 3 years. Come back, and then you come back, we'll talk about your compassion. He did. Of course, you have to, right? You have to. If you really want to follow a teacher, whatever they say, you have to follow that, right? You know Shabda Rinpoche? He's a great teacher. Right now he's in Nepal. 103 years old. Teacher. Shabda Rinpoche, you know? Oh, really? You're very new Buddhism then. He is a great teacher right now and great Dzogchen master. And no teach, especially Dzogchen. People are really hungry his teachings. And hungry for his teaching. He's 103 years old now. No problem at all. Everything's very healthy, good. And one Westerner student asked him to teach Dzogchen. He just laughed and he said, "Okay, if you want me, the Dzogchen teaching, then first 3 years you have to." He's in Nepal. There are lots of cows, and those cows he shows point, those cows, you have to take care of these cows for 3 years. You give them food and take care of these cows for 3 years. Then you should come and I will teach you Dzogchen. Of course he can't, right? He can't. If he really want, I think if he really wants Dzogchen from him, Dzogchen teaching from him, he should, right? But he didn't. That means not enough devotion towards him. So anyway, the Bhakti Rinpoche student, 3 years retreat, and come back, and they talked about compassion. He really had a great compassion. Of course, 3 years, he practiced only compassion. It's really amazing. When he talked about all living beings and this suffering, this student just tears, it's strongly, he has a compassion towards living beings, and Bhakti Rinpoche understood. And then, okay, now you have a really great compassion. We should sort of celebrate, and they eat good food, and during the eating, he taught him the Pranjana Paramitas just short time, and this student understood the Dzogchen's view. Bhakti says, yes, see, this is, now you don't have to worry about the Dzogchen view, you understand everything because of the foundation. So, the cultivate devotion and compassion of this foundation, the qualities, I think you have to practice Guru Yoga. And that's how you cultivate sort of devotion, as well as how you receive the blessings. And then the realization is very easy. And if you want to realize the three kayas of the state of realization, you need to persevere in openness of devotion, otherwise it will not happen. I think we people are now here in this world, it's so difficult to meditate on Dzogchen because we don't have enough devotion. That's my point, my opinion. Especially Westerner, it's difficult to teach Dzogchen, I think. Honestly, it's difficult to have a devotion. Devotion, stronger devotion means, like that, whatever they said, no hesitation, you should do it, right? It's difficult. I think for us, myself, and include you, very benefit practice the compassion, bodhicitta, love and kindness. I think it's really great benefit rather than practice Dzogchen. I'm not that easy teacher, teach Dzogchen, because my teachers, right, they're not easy that too. My teachers, if you have a great foundation, then you don't have to request, give me a Dzogchen teaching. They will just give you, right? They will say, come, I will give you this teaching. If you don't have good foundation, even though you request the teaching, they will not. They see that what is benefit or what is not benefit, right? So why I say this, because if you have enough devotion, you should ask Dzogchen teaching, and you should practice Dzogchen only. If you don't have enough devotion, first you have to develop that. So you can sort of investigate yourself, right? So how much you have a compassion, how much you have a devotion. If you have a compassion, I think then almost 100% you have a devotion. I'm not talking about just compassion, great compassion. If you have a great compassion, then you are ready to practice Dzogchen. So you should investigate, many of you are become Buddhist long time. So investigate your compassion, great compassion. And then if you have, then you should practice Dzogchen. Otherwise, you should develop compassion first.
This is kind of an unusual question maybe, but are we the best ones to judge whether we have great compassion? Because our minds play tricks on us and say, oh, you have, because I see people that want so much to have Dzogchen teachings, but yet they don't have bodhicitta. And so they're focusing on this all the time. So are we the best people to decide whether we have great compassion, or do we need a teacher's help to do that?
Both. Both. Sometimes people request the Dzogchen teaching because it's so famous. Mahamudra, Dzogchen, they're same. Because so famous, very high level, right? And people just don't understand, just they want that teaching. Even though without taking refuge vow. Even for me, some people ask me, teaching Dzogchen, and they're not Buddhist yet. And I ask them, they don't have refuge vow. So most people just don't understand. But yes, both. Student, you have to really tell your teacher honestly how much you have compassion, how much you're negative, how much you have negative thoughts, how much positive thoughts, just honestly. Honestly, most teachers don't have, don't read, don't know, can't read your mind. Many teachers can, if they have enough wisdom mind, they have, right? But like me, we all same, nothing different. Just regular people, ordinary people. Then you have to tell the truth honestly, and then teacher need understand your meditation. Just teacher come here and just give you the teachings and then just go away. That's not how we take care of a student. That's not the relationship between student teacher. Teacher has a big responsibility, really. Teacher is like a parent. Student is like a children. So always need to take care, which means close each other. Sometimes teacher, and student, they just, like for instance, Dalai Lama. It's a great man, great teacher, I received a few teachings from him. Very nice, special. I have faith, devotion, but we don't have connect because I can't see him. He's too famous. That's kind of teacher and student so difficult relationship. My teachers told me, if you really want to practice and follow a teacher, you have to sort of connect really strongly with this teacher and always ask meditation. You should ask and you should tell your experience, your meditations. I'm going wrong way or right way? Do I have a great, the correct view? Or you have to let them know, for me, my teachers are very close to me. I don't want someone, that never I, personally talk with. I don't want that kind of teacher in my life. How should I ask and help? I can't have connect. I don't have that kind of relationship. Then how should I ask him whether my practice are correct or not? How should I ask? Dzongchen Chense Rinpoche is a great teacher. He always say the teacher and student relationship not that easy. It's really not easy. The teacher has a big responsibility, and student need to trust teacher. That relationship is not that easy. This is my karma. I'm just, just kind of automatically become a teacher. But now I think, I don't want this responsibility. It's not that easy. Usually I just let go, right? But in my mind, most time, if really someone who really follow me, and listen me, then I have big responsibility, I have to teach correctly, and also if they don't listen me, I have, kind of, difficult. It's like a teacher and student relationship is like exactly parents and children. You just teach and then let go. That's in general, right? Most people just come, not in Tibet, in here, totally different culture, totally different thinking, right? But in this here, like, teacher come and just teach and then they go. Maybe next time they come or maybe not, just like, that's in general very good, good foundation, very good. But if you really want to meditate and practice and rely on teacher, I think you have to just, really strong connection. Otherwise, it's difficult to develop your meditation. That's my opinion, but I don't know. Maybe that's correct. Maybe I'm wrong. But for my personal, I always ask, when I was at Tibet, for instance, my teacher, the first teacher, Khenpo Sherab, I studied with 15 years. 15 years, day by day, always together. 15 years. Second teacher, 6 years. Third teacher, 6 months. So they know very well about me. I know them, even though they're very humble, kind of difficult they don't want to show their capacity, their knowledge, their, qualities, because they're just, very humble. But if I stay like this long time, then slowly I understand, their qualities and their compassion. Then it's so easy to develop my devotion, faith, According to Buddhism, first you have to investigate your teacher like that, And don't just, faith, and that's we call blind faith. We don't need that. Blind devotion, blind faith, which means without understand the teacher, right? Just to believe, not good. But like 15 years, I studied with him, then I slowly understand and easy to develop my devotion, And then there was a great teacher and student asked him, and the teacher said always, you have to investigate your teacher according to Buddhism. And then the student says, it takes so long, in order to investigate teacher. I can't find, right away. Then I don't know who is my teacher. And then this teacher says, 10 years, 12 years, 15 years. You should investigate. And then you will find the great teacher. And then you just follow. And then whole your life will be fine. So otherwise, you just today go there, tomorrow go here. Eventually you got nothing. Right? You just really, for instance, Buddhist philosophy, we have a major 5 different philosophy. You can't study all of them in order to become a kind of professor. You have to focus on one philosophy, like, middle way, whole your life. Then you become a really good, right, good teacher. Otherwise, you practice today this year this, and then that, and that. Eventually, you got nothing, So you have to really focus on one thing if you really want to become a professor, like, In general, that's all. In general, usually I'm just worried, that between teaching and student, it's not so good. We're doing not so good in everywhere. But just to listen Dharma and practice, and that's fine. That's fine. That's very good foundation. But if you really want, this is not easy. Become a Buddhist, it's not easy. Big change. Become a Buddhist. First, in order to become a Buddhist, you have to investigate Buddhism, right? That takes a long time. Once you find, oh, Buddhism is the best for me, I'm sure Buddhism, I become Buddhist. Okay, that's good, that's sure. Now, need to think about teacher, right? After that, need to think about teacher. That takes time, right? And then once you find a good teacher, then I think then easy you're there. You're really there now. Then just you develop your meditation with this teacher. In general, there are Guru Yoga practice. Let's go back. There are 5 levels can be recognized in the practice of Guru Yoga. The outer level for accumulating merit include visualizing the Guru and his sort of retinue and the space before you, taking refuge, generate bodhicitta, offering the 7 branch, and so forth, right? So that's the kind of outer level, recognized practice Guru Yoga. And the inner level for purifying your perceptions, obscurations, and these defilements involves visualizing the Guru above your head and receiving his blessings, right? The inner level. And the most secret level, in which you recognize the deity as yourself, involves visualizing yourself as a deity and realizing that your body, speech, and mind have always been inseparable from the deity, speech, and mind of the Guru, and arise in the form of the deity. That's kind of more secret and more high level. And then the absolute level, Guru Yoga practice, what we call it, they haven't blended your mind which with the mind of Guru, right? Mixed or union. You realize the ultimate nature of Guru. That's we also call your secret teacher, which is the nature mind. And when you died, the transference of death level, very important this one, okay? When you visualize yourself dissolving into the Guru's heart, right? When you find a great teacher, when you died, you have to remember him and his instructions and practice Guru Yoga, right? And your mind and the Guru's mind sort of union merge with the great mind, and this is the most sort of profound and essential way of sort of performing POA practice, actually POA, the transference of consciousness, right, at the moment of death. So this is the sort of completion stage aspect of the Guru Yoga. Guru Rinpoche's mind, Pamasambhava's mind, and our mind become one, which is the Buddha nature, which is the nature mind, which is the true of everything. We have to sort of prepare this kind of meditation because the death, never know when we will die. if you have time to think about it, or most people really ill, right? It's very strong. Can't think about meditation because control. But if you can, when you die, you have to think about the practice Guru Yoga, and then just to focus on the nature mind. Then dedicate, right? Very important. Dedicate all your virtues that in your life. Dedicate all living beings, and pray, wish. If you believe the future birth, you should pray and wish that I will be born. Doesn't matter animal, human beings, will be benefit for all living beings. 2 things you need, right? Actually 3 things. Practice Guru Yoga, and then dedicate, very important, dedication, and then the prayer, the wish that become a great being, which means have a capacity to help others. That's what we should do when we will die. And now, in the teaching of Nyingma lineage, we don't have much time now. So I think I want to describe a little bit about meaning of lineage and why it is important. So when you practice Guru Yoga, in general, there are 3 different ways of visualizing the lineage, right, according to preliminary practice. But here in the Guru Yoga practice, we visualize the lineage as a vast crowd surrounding Guru Rinpoche, who is in the center, right, and your lineage surrounded by him. Because Guru Yoga practice, actually you are practicing lineage, right? The lineage is actually the lineage, unbroken transmission of the Buddha's teaching and the oral instructions that goes all the way back to the Buddha Shakyamuni. It's so important. And this lineage, the oral instructions goes back to Buddha Shakyamuni and to the present time, passed on sort of from one teacher to the next, without any sort of being lost. That's what we call lineage. For example, I have learned and received these teachings from my teacher, and who have learned all these instructions and teachings from their teachers, right? So and so. So it goes back really directly to Buddha Shakyamuni. So this is very important. That's why the lineage is important according to Buddhism. So this is, we need to understand. The lineage means these teachings today, it's not from me, from my teacher. And if you think that, investigate, the teachings goes directly Buddha. So these teachings are so powerful, that's why. These teachings come from someone who completely sort of full of qualities, and someone who has completely experience about the nature of phenomena, about emptiness, clarity. So these teachings comes from not just an ordinary person. That's why these words are so powerful. So now, Yeah, we have to. Uh-oh. No time to meditate. It's okay? I mean, it's, yeah. Oh, I have to, lots of, I teach something, different than I thought. But that's okay, right? Yeah, so now that's all then. So we have to, first of all, we have to dedicate, okay? Closing prayers. And we found that there is a long life prayer. You want to say quickly about a little bit how you found this?
Very quickly, this week, a number of very auspicious connections came together very quickly. Steve Tibbetts was going into retreat and was requesting from Khenpo a long life prayer to practice Guru Yoga with him. David Doth over a year ago had also requested a long life prayer. And so between Steve, myself, and Andreas Kretschmar, who is Khenpo's translator in Germany, Andreas suggested that Paisei Rinpoche, who is one of his root teachers that he spent 15 years with, this was one of Paisei Rinpoche's most beloved prayers to practice Guru Yoga and also to practice the long life for your guru, for your root teacher. So Andreas sent me the Tibetan text, and I very quickly emailed Cortland Dahl, who many of you know well. And Cortland turned around, I think within a very short period of time, and sent me the translation. And so you can read the dedication down to the bottom. And we're going to dedicate this to Khenpo, but I'd also like to dedicate this on behalf of Cortland. So this is me speaking on behalf of Cortland. Translated as a humble offering to the long life of Khenpo Sherab Sangpo Rinpoche by Karma Tsultrim Shurnu, Cortland Dahl, on the 15th of the 10th month of the year of the water snake, 2140, December 17th, 2013. So you can see that this came together very quickly. Steve is very happy in retreat and practicing, and I'm very happy on behalf of all of Khenpo's students, but especially on behalf of Cortland Dahl as the translator, to offer this to Khenpo as a long life prayer. And Andreas Kretschmar will be having him teach a commentary to this in Germany in June 2014, which he has promised to record on MP3. And I speak German, and my husband speaks German, and we will translate it into English for you so that you can hear the commentary. Because it would be very nice to have an oral commentary on this prayer, since once we read it together, you'll realize it is a very profound teaching in itself. So, thank you, Kamala.
This is from Mopam Rinpoche. He's so important teacher, especially my lineage, Mopam Rinpoche. It's very nice. It's not for my long life prayer, okay? No. It's for everybody's. I don't need long life prayer. If you study, meditate every day, that's my long life prayer. That's for everybody, good for everybody. Why I need long life prayer? It's kind of selfish, I don't need long life prayer, specifically my name there. No, we don't need that. Steve Tibet asked me, you need long life prayer. I say no, I don't need long life. I don't need long life prayer. Someone who really have a good intention. I always meditate when I dedicate. Whoever really good teacher exists in this world, become a long life. So I always think that, So if I'm a good teacher, then other people, even though they say prayers, long life prayers, I'm included because they say good teachers. If I'm not good teacher, then I'm not. Why I need long life prayer, So this prayer, because then I let them sort of have this long life prayer, because this one is from the one reason is from Rinpoche. It's just he is a Buddha. It's very powerful, his words. So that's why good for everybody. Second is I have I have a written transmission, and in my monastery, we always, every day, say this long life prayer for everybody, good teachers, good people, So that's why we should have this, because we need good teachers who really stay long life, So do not think about me, and that's you don't have that. If you think about me, long life prayer, that's wrong. And you should, whoever good teachers, be long life, So that's why this is amazing, long life prayer. Since I was 7 years old, we say this. I already memorized all. Every day I say this. So now we have in English, so that's good, So we should say that. We should prayers for everybody who is good teacher, who is good person, who is benefit for the world, Just let you know that, okay? And then close in prayers. May I attain in each and every life the sublime virtues of existence and peace. May I pursue the flawless mindset of altruism, working for the welfare of others on a vast scale. Through this very merit of mine, may every single sentient being eliminate all forms of negativity and practice virtues forevermore. May Supreme Precious Bodhisattva take birth where it has not arisen, where it has arisen, may it never wane, but continue to grow forevermore. May Supreme Precious Bodhisattva take birth where it has not arisen, where it has arisen, may it never wane, but continue to grow forevermore. May Supreme Precious Bodhisattva take birth where it has not arisen, where it has arisen, may it never wane, but continue to grow forevermore. So we have some prayers and dedications in the ritual Guru Yoga, but we should skip that because we don't have time. So now we should say this prayer, long life prayer, the melody of immortality. See, nice, immortality, a prayer for longevity. Very nice. Okay. So, in the divine mandala,
where all that appears and exists is utterly pure, you, the sovereign of all the Buddha families and teacher of the Tantras, mature and liberate the three gates into their Vajra nature. Vajra King, may you ever remain. Within the Vajra body, you reveal the mandala of the great bliss of the indestructible three secrets. Most supreme of all, Lord of the Vajra transmission, Vajra Master, may you remain for 100 eons. Through the effortless path, you directly reveal unchanging self-awareness in the basic space of great bliss, caring for the profound key instructions of perfection. Glorious Guru, may you remain until the end of existence. Precious successor to the Gurus of the three lineages, may you remain throughout the three times in Vajra form, forever hoisting the great banner of the Dharma of the three lineages throughout the three realms.
Oh, nice. It's great long life prayer. I don't know the other, but all the Nyingma, the monasteries, I think most they practice this. So it's very famous long life prayer and very good. And then thank you very much. Corlindo translate this into English very beautifully, and I want to say him very from my heart, very thank him, and also thank you very much, Kate, for that, and Steve Tibet, and David Dot, he gave me some money last year, and please ask your teacher, you have long life. Actually, I didn't, because so then when I come back in Okay, actually I didn't go. I didn't see this time my teacher, and I told him, "And your money there. I can't. I can't see him this year." So, and he said, "Please, maybe you will." So now see we have long life prayers. So that's good for him. Very nice, kind. That's very nice, and thank you him. And also, Martin, thank you for everything for Bodhisattva Sangha help. Very nice, as well as Mary. Thank you very much. What else? We have Heather and Nancy, Jana. All right. Thank you very much for your registration and register it. Yep. And the volunteers, thank you so much, and thank you. I really want to say thank you, all of you who come here and practice and meditate with us, sharing your good energies, your compassion. Very nice. Thank you. I want to say thank you all of you very, 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 very much. And also thank you to the Tirga, always very nice to us. Share this nice space. And I really love to meditate on this place, and very nice because it's very nice, space. So I really want to say thank you, Tirga, sharing this space. And also Ran, thank you, bring me here, drive for me. And Anne, thank you for a nice introduction. So yeah, thank you all. I think that's all today. The prayer.
May supreme precious bodhicitta take birth where it has not arisen, and where it has arisen, may it never wane, but continue to grow forevermore.
Dedicate all of this, the practice for all living beings. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mom.
Thank you. Now you can go just to relax. Good evening. Merry Christmas.